Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Snippy Joker, and on today's episode we're continuing our lineup of healers with Jeffrey the Shark. Now, I never thought I'd play Jeffrey Shark in my lifetime, but you know what? I had to see why people both love and hate him. Now, before we get into some guidance, some tips, tricks, and some controversies with Jeffrey the Shark, let's go over his attack and basic abilities. Now, Jeffrey has two main attacks. One that is like a fire hydrant and it's like a, like a water blast or water stream that heals your allies. The other is more like a water bullet that damage your enemies. So on the PS5 controller, that's R2 for the healing and then L2 for the damage. His first ability is to shoot out healing bubbles. Now you, at first, before you start using them, you get up to 6, and then after you use all 6, it takes about a second or two to recharge back up. Now these bubbles can not only heal Jeffrey, but can heal your allies. But if an enemy hits them, they will be launched into the sky. So it has some kind of benefit on both sides. The other one is allowing Jeffrey to go underneath the ground where only his fin is visible. And then while he's underground, he is healing himself. Now the healing isn't the greatest. It's not like you're going to rapidly heal like that. But you get to heal over time, and it allows you to run away so that you're not being killed by the enemy team. But also it allows you to climb up walls. You just go next to a wall, hit X, and you start climbing, and you're still healing. And then lastly is his all too famous ult, where Jeffrey goes underneath the ground, pops up in a certain area to eat both. Whoever's in that area can be both allies and enemies. And then, well, we know what happens next. He either spits you off the edge, flies off the edge, and kills himself along with you, or has to spit on his allies before taking out the enemies. Now, playing Jeffrey, the first thing I noticed is you can do both his healing spray and his damage bullets. The thing is by the time you're doing, it's hard to do both, because then you can't remember which is which and when to fire your bullets or use your stream. It can get very confusing. So my advice would be to focus on one or the other. Focus on healing or focus on damage. I can see why a lot of people don't like Jeffrey as a healer, because by the time you use most of your stream, or by the time you use most of your damage bullets, you're reloading. And that could cost you on some extra damage or extra heal. So it's better to focus on one or the other. Try not to do both. It's not like Rocket the Raccoon, where it's easy to shoot his gun and send out healing balls, because his healing balls can bounce off or phase through, going to your allies to heal them. That I feel is more reasonable. This, I feel like you have to focus on one or the other, but the option is there to do both at the same time. His healing bubbles. Healing bubbles were kind of like, where should I put them, when should I put them? I feel like you should put them as, like, surround them and put them out as much as possible. Like, put them where it goes up before your allies or surrounding your allies. Don't put them all together, because regardless if your allies or Jeffrey need heals, they're going to use them anyways. So if they're at full health and run into one, it's going to heal them for nothing. So it's like a waste of a healing ball. But use them as much as you can. Try to put them between your allies and the enemy, so that if an enemy hits them, they get launched up. Or if an ally uses them, and most likely they're going to get healed because they took some damage from the enemy. Next, swimming underground is probably your best friend when it comes to Jeffrey. You can do it as long as you want. There is no time limit on how long you can be. Like here right now, I'm literally underground. You're moving faster. I'm getting to the point. I pop up. I put out my bubbles towards the enemy. I am moving quickly, and trying to get to the front line, not front line, but get to where the allies are going to be. But be underground because it heals you. There's no cost. There's no negative. You're underground. The only negative is you're not healing your allies, but you're saving your own butt to heal yourself. And you can climb walls. You can swim around and go behind the enemy lines because all you're seeing is the fin. Like, it is hard to hit Jeffrey when he's underwater. It's probably the most frustrating thing to hit a Jeffrey when he goes underwater. The only two characters in this gameplay that was the toughest for me to deal with was Moon Knight and Punisher. Because if I didn't go underwater in time, they took me out. Even when I'm underground with Jeffrey, they were able to hit my fin because of their fast and wide range of accuracy and damage per second. So be aware of your surroundings. Go underground at the right moment. Try not to be in harm's way because people dislike Jeffrey. You are the #1 target for many people because of his ult, which transitions into his ult. Now, his ult, which most of us have played this game, and if you haven't seen it, lucky you, is you go underground and swim around to try and get underneath the enemy, and no one really sees, like, you hear the noise of Jeffrey using his ult, but you don't see the tidal wave or the vortex until you use his ult. And you want to use it on more than one enemy. There have been times where Jeffrey's ult can turn the tides of a game. And you saw in the previous gameplay, or in this gameplay in the previous scene, where I took only one Moon Knight because I can only get one. And I tried to shoot him out, but he hit a wall. Now that's happened to me before as Groot. Jeffrey shot me off the map, but thankfully I hit a boundary and shot back. So, here, I got the Punisher and Adam Warlock, and instead of just shooting him out, I was like, forget it, I'm taking him with me, which helped my team keep control of the point. However, it also takes out one of your healers. So if you're gonna do it wisely. Try and do it, when the time is right, where you can turn the tides for your team. I mean, there was a Jeffrey one time that captured all 5 of my teammates, put them over the wall, and helped their team win. So there are times like that. Jeffrey's ult can be a menace to society, so use it wisely, use it well. There's also a new thing I saw in Tin the Tatman today, where people are using Doctor Strange's portal, and Jeffrey shoots him through the portal, which the portal is against the wall, and shoots him into nothingness and puts him in a time warp outside the map where they can't get back in. So watch out for that, because that's new, and I hope that gets patched. So what do I think of Jeffrey? He's definitely not something I'm going to pick as a healer. I'm going to go pick with my other healers. But there are a lot of people out there that are very good with Jeffrey. Mostly going behind enemy lines because, again, like I said, he's quick, he's hard to hit on the ground, but going behind enemy lines and being a terror to the other healers on the other team. It's happened to me many times. It's quite annoying because, again, you'll turn around and start shooting Jeffrey, he'll be underwater. Before you can even put damage on him, he's underwater healing. And then he'll come back when you forget about him. So it is a pain in the butt to deal with Jeffrey. But would I use him? No, I'd rather use my other healers. I'd rather use someone else. Because people that use Jeffrey are probably either going to go behind enemy lines and do more damage and healing, or try to heal you, but really his healing gets spread out way too quickly if you hold it down, and he gets to reload constantly. It was a lot. So I would not use Jeffrey. I would not advise Jeffrey. But if you tell me what you think. Are you a Jeffrey main? Do you like Jeffrey? Do you hate Jeffrey? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Sub to my channel to help me grow. Like the video to tell YouTube that everyone likes me, or someone likes me. And of course, check out my other channel, Stibby Joker Shorts, Stibby Joker 2.0, which is new for single player content. And then chat with me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.